Fresh.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so tonight, you guys, we're going to be talking a little bit about dreaming and planning and reaching for your goals. And I signed up for this. I swim once in a while, and I don't know if does anybody here swim besides me, swim laps? Okay. Well, sometimes when you get in the pool, you either have the flow or it's a struggle, and it kind of depends on kind of how your body is and if you're in sync and all this stuff. And I saw this thing pop up on Facebook for this new thing called theskills.com, and it's all these different athletes talking about how they do their craft, like how do they do their sport. And one of them was Michael Phelps. And I thought, gosh, if he's for $180 for the year, I can go in and listen to any of these amazing people and learn mindset and learn how to do some new things or techniques. But I thought if I can get a swim lesson from Michael Phelps, that is so worth it. Well, so I got on there, and there was just a few things in there that, one of the reasons I love sports is because when you do sports, your mindset is so simple when you're trying to achieve something. Have any of you guys ever ran a race, signed up for a race, or done anything like that? You know that you have to plan ahead. You can't just sign up for a marathon and then show up that day. Like you actually have to buy the right shoes, and you have to plan your workouts, and you just don't go out and run a marathon. You build up to it, and then by the time that date comes, you're ready, right? And so much sports analogy is so much like success in business. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
So I wanted to play this for you guys, and I hope this is going to work okay. And then I thought you guys can take some notes and just kind of see maybe what speaks to you in this, and then we can unpack it. Okay. So can you guys see my desktop?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to make this bigger. Can you guys just see a pool?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Yeah, anything is possible. Like it's a fact. I mean, I dreamt of winning 8 gold medals. My dream became a reality.
Oops.
I dreamt of breaking a world record and broke 39. So like I said, I still don't understand it. Hope one day I will, but you have to believe in order to achieve. For me, I always had a time in my head that I wanted to accomplish. There was always something that was getting me to push harder. So that time, I didn't care if it was 100th faster than it, whatever it was. I always wanted to hit it. So growing up, it was really just racing the clock, because I was trying to race it. I was trying to do a time. I didn't care who I was out there swimming against. Like I wasn't afraid of anybody. I didn't nothing. Like I was just out there swimming, to try to swim a time. That gave me then the confidence to think about or to dream about times that I could hit, where other people might think I have 10 heads for thinking that I could go this time. I can still remember I had a training partner tell me I could break 4 minutes in the 400 IM long course. The world record right now is mine at 4:03.8. And I can sit here and talk to Bob, and we could, numbers in our head, we could figure out how to do it. Like, that's the thing. Like, nothing was impossible. So, yeah, it was pretty easy once I had a time that excited me. Going into 2008, I don't know what it was, but I was like, Bob, I keep seeing 307 in my dreams. Like, why? What is that? and I'm a numbers guy. I love numbers. So for me, like I couldn't figure out what it was or what it was telling me. And yeah, when I said it to Bob, he basically, you know, took a split second and was like, makes sense. Like I know what that could be. And sure enough, 3:07 ended up being my split time at the 300 of my 400 IM in the 2008 Olympic Games. It's just still wild to think about. But yeah, 3:07 flat or something, right? The 3:07 flat? Yeah. I guess at trials before the 2008 Olympics, I went 4:05. 4:05 flat, 4:05.6 or something. And, right? 4:05.3? Okay, so 4:05.3, somewhere in there. And I remember just for every single, so on a 400 I'm going to be out in 54, 53, a minute on backstroke, 109 on breaststroke, 110 on breaststroke. And at that point, you just hammer the legs on the end. And if I'm back in 56 plus, then it's fine. It's where we needed to be. And the race happened exactly how I wrote it down on the paper. I turned at 3:07, went 4:03.8. So repetition is the highest form of learning. There obviously is something to that. For the longest time, I probably didn't believe or trust Bob, but you know, looking back and seeing some of those memories and those moments that we've had throughout our career, it's hard to not believe it and hard to not trust him. But I mean, thinking about that, I was like, yeah, 3:07. I keep seeing 3:07 in my dream. It's weird. It's hard to explain. You know, because I think back to 2008, and I'd say that's like one of the times in my career where I felt time slowed down. So, you know, to be able to have all of those things occur around or during or about those Olympics, it's just mind blowing. It's hard to comprehend.
Was there any bit of fear or anything?
Why? How could you be? I mean, if you're afraid, then that's going to be something that holds you back. You never know what you truly can accomplish unless you just go. Just drop everything and go. You know, that's where Dream Plan Reach came from. I mean, you'll hear me talking 100 times about not having a blueprint. Nobody told us what to do. We just had to get up and do it. And if it didn't work, we got to come back to the drawing board. And I think that's where our passion really played the biggest part, because it didn't matter how many times we had to come back to the board. We were going to find a way. We were going to get it done.
All right. Oops, hold on. It's not going to go into another one here. Okay. Uh-oh, hold on. Let's go again. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry about that. So what'd you guys think?
Loved it.
So what were some of your guys' takeaways?
This is Kelly talking.
Yeah.
I'm not a numbers person, so I kind of got lost in it. But when he said, just drop everything and go, that kind of hit me. I like that.
Yes.
That's what I need to do. Just drop everything and go.
Yep. Love that.
I like make a blueprint, like have a plan, figure out what your actual goals are and write them down.
Yep.
It's easier said than done.
Yep.
I really liked when he mentioned if you're afraid, that's going to be something that holds you back.
Mm-hmm.
Amen, right? I mean, goodness gracious. I love when he said, fear, why, how?
Yeah.
And the reason if you go back, one of the things, if you like, I've watched this like 10 times because I'm just like blown away by it, because that whole thing, fear, why, how, we all get so held back by what people think of us, and what about this, what about that, and it goes back to the fact that he's like, look, we made a plan, right? And he didn't race against anyone else, he raced against himself, the clock, right? So he wasn't comparing himself to other people either, right?
Right.
So that's an Olympic attitude right there.
He is very like uniquely in his own world,
Yeah.
almost like, I mean, I almost think of what it's like having a child on the autism spectrum, because so often they're in their own world. And sometimes I'm like, what is going on in there? And it's like, he dreams up all these big things, but yet it's like, oh my gosh, that's actually really cool, because we get so grounded in reality, or what we think is reality, or our nutty self-talk, or what other people are saying. It's like, it's literally, and I love this swimming analogy, it's like, stay in your own lane and
Yes.
don't look. Those guys don't win those races watching what's happening in the next lane,
No, that would make them not aerodynamic either, by the way. They would lose seconds if they looked over to see where somebody was.
There was, and this may have been a Michael Phelps thing in the Olympics years ago, but I remember there was a competition and the guy who was winning looked over to see what was happening, and the other guy pulled ahead and won. And it's like, oh my gosh, just run your own race. It's not supposed to look like anybody else's, nor can it,
Right.
Like when people say to me, gosh, oh, I'm just a sales coordinator, or I'm just this or that. I'm like, so does it matter? Like, as you go down this journey, you're going to look back and go, wow, look what I did. I've never been like, oh, it took me 8.5 years to get to NMD. I'm like, hey, I got there.
Right.
And I still have a growing team, and I'm really thankful for that.
Absolutely. Who else?
He had so many nuggets. Yeah, I've got, you have to believe to achieve.
Yes.
Nothing's impossible. And figure out something that excites you.
Yes. I know. Here's my notes from that.
I know. I'm like just going down the
Right. I couldn't write fast enough, right? I mean, yeah. So how many times do we just sit around hoping like, oh, I should work on my Juice Plus business? I mean, we all fall into that, especially after, I think being home and, feeling stuck in our world. It's time to wake up, right? It's time to get out. And I have to tell you, I think I told you last week, I joined Powerhouse Polka Dot, which Jenna, I still need to get you a thing. I forgot. It was clunky being around that many people for networking. It was uncomfortable. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to just go in here and be value add, and ended up finding a new team member my second visit, and probably another customer off of a connect I just did. So, it's just amazing when we just go, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done doing nothing. I now have a new goal. Like I'm going to get out, I'm going to meet some people, and I'm going to have some success, because it's no fun doing nothing, right? So you've got to dream it. It's got to become a reality. You have to believe in order to achieve, like you said, Sherry, that was one I wrote down. Swim in your own lane, like Ellen said. And I think the other thing he said, he thought about what he wanted. Like, what do you want? And I know we did the goal. We've talked about goals several times already this year, but what do you want? And don't make it, I mean, you might have a big long-term goal, but what do you want like this week or this month or this quarter? What do you want to have happen when you take your toes out of between your sheets and put them on the ground? By the time they get back in, what's a win for you for that day, right? Because Michael Phelps just didn't get in the pool and win 8 Olympic medals. And there's another one I should probably show you. I won't show it to you today, but I might post it. Well, I don't think I can post it because it's up here. But He said, you know what? He swam every single day for 5 years to get those 8 medals. He said, yeah, you know what? I wanted to be like my friends in high school who were sleeping till 11. I was in the pool at 6. Yeah, I wanted to open presents Christmas morning. I was in the pool at 6. Yeah, on my birthday, I wanted to sleep in and take a day off. I was in the pool at 6. He showed up and he said, I did it because I wanted to win Olympic medals for my country. Right? So for you, I mean, what do you want to do? Like, can we just blow this blitz out of the water? I mean, right now, you guys, what a great opportunity to talk to people. How many of you guys have lots of customers that you haven't even talked to about sharing Juice Plus? They love it. They've been customers of yours forever. You know, why not approach them? And Sue, you're doing that. Go ahead. So you want to talk?
I'll unmute for a minute. My plan, and I shared this with everybody, and I don't mind telling you, I've worked very, very hard to acquire a lot of customers. Little Karen knows this too, because we always, and Bobby and Patty, you guys know what I'm up to all the time, because we send our little texts every day. But I have 134 customers right now. So not all of them have I ever said to them about joining our business. So with Reagan's push on the call last week and the 3-way calls that both Ellen and Reagan are going to offer, I'm just taking my list, and it is lengthy, I might add, but I'm just taking my list and I'm just going through there and I'm talking to my customers and seeing who is open, who is willing to be a resource, who's open to looking at the business, and let's get on the phone and talk about that. So that's what I've been doing. And hence Ellen Adams that joined us, she was somebody that saw my post about that and reached out to me on Facebook and said, hey, are you doing that? And I said, yes, I am. Are you still interested? She goes, yes, I am. So I got with her on Saturday, actually, and we went through everything. And so I put that up for today so everybody could see she joined. So I envision in my head, if I do just a minimum of 2 new team members every month, Reagan, when we talked about that, what if you end up with 6? What if you end up with 8? What if you end up with 10 new team members over the summer? I mean, how huge is that for everybody, for anybody?
Life-changing for you and for them. I mean,
yes,
and for their communities, because how many of you here are underneath, you're not under me directly, you know?
Right. And our little town is growing by leaps and bounds where we are. I know you can't believe that, but it is. So that's a great opportunity with a lot more people coming in too. And we're out, Judy and I are speaking this Wednesday night, just so you know, we're actually going to physically present a talk about label reading in Juice Plus at a community center. So, I mean, our mayor here made a proclamation, I guess one could say last week, that masks are no longer mandatory. It's by choice in any business, in any store. So it's up to you if you want to wear a mask or not. So that enables a lot more of the businesses now to allow people to come in with still respectful distancing. So that's, Judy and I are going to do a talk on Wednesday night. We're pretty darn excited about that. First one in over a year. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay, I talk enough. Somebody else.
That's great. And you know, another approach you guys could do with some of your customers is just to say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that our company is doing this really amazing thing. Do you know anybody who, you know, would love to earn some extra? And they might say, yeah, me. So if you're uncomfortable going to them directly saying, hey, you know, I thought about you, you could always also do indirect. Okay, here's the other one that I don't know if you caught this, but he started talking about his race. And at the end, he said, you know, if I did that time on that lap, because it was, you know, for the breaststroke and this for that, and that, you know, in the IM, you do 4 different strokes. And he says, but then at the end, you just have to hammer at the end. That is so true. And I have to tell you guys that the heart, when you're getting ready to hit a really big goal, it's really easy to shut down. And it's human nature to just go, I don't think I can do it, or I'm tired or whatever. And that's really where you want to just check yourself and go, you know what, I'm just going to hammer to the end and see what happens. And that's where people kick over the edge or they win a race, right? And I've seen a lot of people quit our business breathing on national marketing director. I've had 2 quit right, like literally months away from hitting national marketing director. So
yeah, and you know what? I think that, you know, there, you can't really ever undervalue the energy that happens in teams and people that are connected and working together on this stuff, because anytime that, I mean, this is just how inspiration works, right? Anytime we see someone kind of go above and beyond and like really knock it out of the park, it gives us permission to do that as well. It sort of, you know, it sort of knocks the dust off our own shelves, so to speak, and we go, well, gosh, you know, look at, and I mean, that's why we go to conference. That's why NMD speeches are the best part of conference, right? Because what you see over and over, it's not that anyone is particularly talented. Even a Michael Phelps, I would say that there's probably a lot of people out there with the same genes as Michael Phelps, and they could have done it and they didn't do the work to do it, you know, but he did the work.
he did the work, and you know what, you guys, he suffers from severe depression. He has a mental illness of severe depression, and he fights through it and still does it. How easy would it be for a guy that has severe depression to not do anything? Right? So I just think he's awesome, and I thought it was great. And I think, you know, if you guys, I'd love to hear kind of what you guys are thinking over the next week. Maybe share with us on Voxer and kind of tell us kind of what your goals are, where you want to go, or something that was an aha for you. We'd love to hear it. But before we go, because I know we're running out of time, I wanted to break down, I don't know if you guys can see this because it's a little bit, I don't know. Can you guys see the board? Is the window getting, here, let me see if I can. Is it glary?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me take you closer. Okay. Can you guys, so the wheel, do you guys remember the wheel training?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys should write this down, because for you guys, so we just got 2 new national marketing directors in our company this week. This is what they're doing. They're doing Shelley Mackey's wheel. Okay. So right now, I don't know if you guys can see this, but so if you have somebody who signs up and they have a 75, they have a trio, and they order a pay in full shake, which they're going to want to do because they're going to want samples and stuff anyway to hand to people. That's 215 points, right? For that customer. So they're already at 215. Okay. If they had 4 orders plus an Omega, they're at Partner Plus. But if they had just even 8 people who do this, they're at 1,800. That's 8 of these. You're a qualified business. That's not very much.
That's awesome.
Okay. Now here's the other thing. So they get started. They have their friend who signs up who does what they're doing. And let's say on their team, they have 3 Partner Pluses. That puts them at, so they did this. Now they have 3 Partner Pluses. They're at QSC, and they have 3 QSCs. They're at QSSC. They hop right over sales coordinator.
Wow.
So that's how these people are going super fast right now. And it's really not that difficult to do that.
Can you say that again, Reagan? So they have to have a tree. If you have a trio and 1 pay in full shake, and you do that 8 times?
No. So 4 orders plus an Omega. So they'd have also been order the Omega a little bit later.
So a trio plus pay in fulls.
So this is what they're coaching. They're doing for themselves. The new customer has a trio and a pay in full shake to get started.
Okay.
Then they have 4 more of those. They find 4 more people who have that. Plus now that they've got some money coming in, they also order the Omega for themselves or have an Omega order. Okay. They have 3 people who did what they just did. They have 3 Partner Pluses. And then when they have those people do the same thing, they'll be at QSC. We now have 3 QSCs. We're at QSSC. So you're just doing 3.
Hey, Reagan, is there a chance you could throw that on Voxer?
I will.
I could hardly see it, and I don't understand any of it. And I understand the wheel, but that's not making any sense to me.
Yeah, I'm just kind of showing you that it doesn't take that many orders to build a qualified business and to have move up. And you're just really talking about somebody getting 5 customers. Really, we're talking about 5 customers, including themselves. Really, I mean, if you think about it that way. So if you had 3 people who got, you know, the 5 customers where they're doing a trio and a pay in full shake plus an omega, you're going to roll right up that marketing plan, and so are they.
Let me say, I'm not sure I understand either. So let me see if I've got this. So I'm a new customer. I get a trio.
Here,
and
let
a
me
pay
put
in
it
full.
here. Let me put it. I have it in my photos, so I think.
But you're saying that then have 3 more people who do exactly that, a trio
Right.
and a pay in full shake.
And then somebody else who does an omega.
And then somewhere in there you do an omega.
Yeah, you'll add an omega. So let me see if I can pull this picture over for you guys. If not, you know what? I'll put it up in our Facebook group when we're done.
Okay.
Because it won't let me. It won't let me. So anyway, it doesn't have to be hard. I mean, we want people to get started anyway, you know, they're going to want to take our products anyway, right?
That's, I mean, if you wanted to go, I love this because I'm like, okay, so if you went out there with a summer incentive and said, okay, I'm going to go put a group together of 3 to 5 people, start them off on my team. And I'm going to tell them all like, okay, so your target starting off is 8 trio customers with a pay in full shake.
Correct.
They'd all be qualified. They'd all be a partner plus.
Well, so if you had 8 people who were doing a pay in full shake and a trio order,
right,
qualified.
Yeah, but they would all, if they did that, if your team members did that, they'd be qualified, they'd be a partner plus probably a QSC. Yeah, you would build up to QSSC pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that because you'd have really some nice structure with a lot of momentum.
That's why they're getting the national marketing director.
Yeah.
You know, a year.
Yeah, that's great.
It's not them doing all the work. I mean, they're buddying up with people, they're doing events together, they're, you know.
So just, I know you want to wrap this up, but I think it's important to say, go wide with that. Don't just teach one person that, teach 5.
Exactly.
And then 2 or 3 of them do it. Teach 10, you know, teach 10, you're going to have 3, 4 that actually take off and go, right?
Correct. That's right. So and really, you know, if you have 10 people that do that, 5 of them are probably going to go forward in some capacity. So,
right.
Which is what you want. So, any questions? I mean, do you guys see that that's doable?
Okay, so then, sorry, I am almost done, but I also want to say Todd Falcone's challenge for us that are those of us doing A team last week was to recruit 5 up. So do you see the wheels turning in my brain, Reagan? It's like, okay, so go find 5 really cool people that could do this and say, so, hey, you think you could go out and get 8 people started on Juice Plus and doing shakes and smoothies with us in the morning? Like, I just think that's really simple.
It is. All right, you guys, I put it up in the Facebook group. So if you guys want to look there, you can look there. It's there right now.
Thanks. And hey, I popped on the call just a little bit late. Where did you, like, if we wanted to rewatch that video, although I guess I could rewatch it in the recording, but if we wanted to rewatch the video, the Michael Phelps one, where'd you find that, Reagan?
It's a subscription it's called The Skills. And there's, I think, volleyball on there too. So I know you play volleyball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They have a free trial. If you guys want to get in there, they have a free trial. I just skipped over that and bought it just because I thought it was great. So
cool.
We'll probably be more stuff out of there over time.
Good. All right. Thanks.
All right. All right. I'm going to stop the recording. think.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
If you get a customer to sign up as a partner during this promotion, and let's just say their June order has already gone out,
Mhm.
and they sign up in June, but they still get a commission on what they ordered in June.
So if they signed up in June and you move their order underneath them, it doesn't pay out until July. So yes.
But they still get credit. Like, so I have somebody's order that I've been trying to reach. I think their order is going out tomorrow. But if I get her,
here's the thing. So they can get paid on it before it to count for their Partner Plus. Has to be after their sign up date.
for their Partner Plus, but they still would get commission.
Correct.
The regular commission. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you would move that order over and ask them to pay them. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.